This is the latest addition to our Surf Patrol Shade range. It is called the single quad fold. This model neatly folds into a bag not much bigger than a surfboard bag, can easily be carried by one person, unfolds and erects to a 3 metre by 5 metre long patrol shade, which is big enough for most medium to small surf patrols. Down on Bondi Beach, we've selected a prime location just to the left of the red and yellow surf swimming flags. Unzipping the bag, you can see that the fabric is already attached to the frame. Before setting up the patrol shade, you must position the 4 pegs holes which support the structure. These holes must be dug and pegs positioned correctly before you attempt to raise the patrol shade. Positioning of the peg holes is determined by the footprint of the patrol shade model you are using. With the single quad fold, a footprint of 5 metres wide by 6 metres length is required. Once this area has been paced out, 4 holes must be dug into the sand at the depth of the sand peg's height. The holes should allow the sand peg to be aligned at 45 degrees away from the centre and facing diagonally opposite its counterpart. Centred in the footprint, remove the patrol shade from the bag and begin to unfold the structure ready for assembly. Separate the 2 halves of the structure, placing the red fabric on the other side of the sand. Positioning of the patrol shade should also take into consideration which direction you are going to raise the structure. It is best to consider the prevailing winds and try not to raise the structure against it. Ensure the base plates at the bottom of the patrol shade are positioned equidistant between the 2 sand peg holes. Importantly, check that the fabric eyelet is on the outside of the structure with the nut furthest out. Ensure that the fabric is not twisted around the pipes and looks free to move. Each pipe half now needs to be reconnected. The top arc of the pipe needs to be fed down the fabric sleeve until it connects to the fixed bottom pipe. Pushing the 2 ends together, you should hear a reassuring clunk as the top pipe slides into the aluminium collar. Once all 4 pipes have been reconnected, the patrol shade can then be laid out in the correct position. Anchoring the ropes around the pegs and tying off the cleats secures your position. You will need to ensure the cleat is on the right side between the peg and the patrol shade. A correct alignment is when the cleat straining knob is closest to the peg and sand. If it's positioned at the highest point and pointing to the patrol shade, it's incorrectly set up and needs to be moved to the other side of the peg. Just feed the cleat by shuffling the rope to the other side of the loop. Tie the rope off in the cleat grip, allowing approximately ½ metre of rope free. You can now bury the sand peg in the sand. Stamp down the sand and The shade is rated to resist wind gusts of up to 120 kilometers an hour and will not fail if the correct assembly instructions are followed. It's now time to join the 4 pipes into 2 arcs. This can be done by 2 people who hold the aluminium ends with one hand on the fabric close to the saddle brackets and the other at the top end. Identify the top pipes and position your hands as directed. Now, without concerning yourself about aligning the pipes, grab the fabric close to the saddle bracket and pull the fabric up to the top end. This step is very important as it relieves the natural tension that holds back the pipes from aligning and connecting. During this process, it is best to stay kneeled on the sand and do not elevate one side higher than the other. Elevation introduces a third dimension and gravity alters the correct alignment. This is by far the easiest way to join the pipes. This operation can now be repeated for the other pipes, and a third person can hold the pipes out of the way. Once both are connected, do the final check of pipes and ensure they are properly connected below the saddle bracket and that the fabric is in no way twisted. If the shape looks incorrect, do not raise the structure, as tremendous forces are placed on the fabric and pipes. If in doubt, do not continue. Disassemble the patrol shade and follow the instructions again. If, however, you are happy with the shape, you can now raise it. This requires 3 people to complete the task. One person must hold the pipe closest to the sand at the top of the arc join. The other 2 people will each grab a rope and move to the centre of the shade footprint. Arrange the rope pleats and pegs in the manner as previously done. Then, moving at the same time and applying equal pulling force, the unit will now raise as the rope holders walk to the peg holes. Once the first arc has been raised close to the vertical, the top of the arc can be released and the patrol shade will bite into the sand and continue to rise easily. During this process, you should never place your feet anywhere near the base plates. This is a pinch area and must be avoided. The third person holding the frame at the top of the arch will stop the patrol shade shifting along the sand and will therefore remove the need to anchor the base plates. Never place your feet on the base plates when the patrol shade is being raised. Check again to see the fabric at the base plates has not twisted and the nuts on the base plates are on the outer edge of the structure. Tip: never attempt to raise the patrol shade until you are properly anchored to ropes. Once secure on all 4 locations, the patrol shade can be then adjusted by using the cleat knob to strain off and tie. The patrol shade will tighten until all wrinkles clear and the surface looks like a tight drum.